Do you ever think it's the #1 problem because you spend a lot of time spreading misinformation and fear to make it? You can't blame austerity on one hand, but then say it's the immigrants. The immigrants haven't caused austerity. The same Thatcherite policies that you and your party support, and the Conservatives, are what have caused the devastation in this country. And you should take responsibility for that too. Nigel Farage, he joined forces with the Swedish Democrats in the European Parliament. This is a far-right Nazi group. They want to deport people, not based on the colour of his skin, but from the places that they've come from. Not only is he a racist misogynist, he's someone who said that Gaza should be turned into a luxury Riviera. So I don't think for a second we should pretend that he wants a ceasefire because he cares about Palestinian lives all of a sudden. He wants a ceasefire.
It's not even been a month since Zack Polanski won a landslide victory in the Green Party leadership race, and there are already some strong signs that he's having an influence on public opinion, as well as in the polls.
Socialists. Oh my God.
During his debut leaders' speech at conference last week, the Mancunian set out some bold and firmly socialist policies that are music to a lot of people's ears, and also a series of media appearances have seen him steadfastly knock the neoliberal and far-right rhetoric completely out of the ballpark. This came to a head on Question Time the other night when he did a great job in putting the former Reform chairman, Zia Youssef, back in his box, amongst other great responses. In fact, he's been so influential already that the party is fast approaching 100,000 members, and a brand new poll shows the Green Party just 2 points behind Labour's vote share at the next general election.
Do not answer the phone. A lot of people are going to be calling you, trying to get your dirty laundry. A lot of activity. You don't know what's going on here. I know. Holy f***ing shit.
Let's see what's happening.
Do you ever think it's the #1 problem because you spend a lot of time spreading misinformation and fear to make it?
Zack, with respect, you just accused me of spreading misinformation. Please tell me, and the people watching at home, what is it that I just said?
Because you've said the first bit, which is correct, that we don't have enough prison spaces, that we don't have enough NHS beds, and that we don't have investment in our communities. What immigrant has taken away those resources, as opposed to those resources being funded? So you can't blame austerity on one hand, but then say it's the immigrants. The immigrants haven't caused austerity. The same Thatcherite policies that you and your party support, and the Conservatives, are what have caused the devastation in this country. And you should take responsibility for that too. I think the first thing to say is that Israel's ongoing genocide has resulted on average in a classroom of children dying every single day in Palestine. 55,000 children are malnourished, so of course a ceasefire should be welcomed. But also let's be clear about who Donald Trump is. Not only is he a racist misogynist, he's someone who said that Gaza should be turned into a luxury Riviera. So I don't think for a second we should pretend that he wants a ceasefire because he cares about Palestinian lives all of a sudden. He wants a ceasefire. I think second, whilst welcoming the ceasefire, we also know this is really a 3-stage process. We need this ceasefire as quick as possible. But we also then need to talk about peace. And we need to make sure we're bringing everyone around the table. And I think our role in that is making sure that Palestinian voices are heard in the same way that Israeli voices are heard. And the idea that Tony Blair is going to be at the head of this table is like bringing an arsonist to put out a fire. It just makes absolutely no sense at all. And actually, we need to make sure that the right people, the people on the ground from the grassroots, are the people leading this. And then thirdly, I think there does need to be a reckoning. We need to recognise that this has been a stain on our humanity, our global humanity. And our government has not just been complicit. They have actively enabled with the selling of arms to Israel. It's time to stop the genocide, stop sharing intelligence, and make sure we have a free Palestine. Thank you. Nigel Farage, he joined forces with the Swedish Democrats in the European Parliament. This is a far-right Nazi group. They want to deport people, not based on the colour of his skin, but from the places that they've come from. They also, Nigel Farage, talked about it being the end of democracy because of the way certain ethnic minorities are voting. These aren't robust words, as Annabelle called them earlier, or we've heard on the conversation. This is racism, it's fascism, and we should call it out.
Zia. OK, so what we want to do is deport people on the basis of whether they are legally entitled to be in this country. That's nothing to do with race, ethnicity, nor religion. Now, let's talk. You accused me earlier, let alone fascist. You said that I was peddling disinformation. And I think people watching this programme at home, given the Green Party are right now, to be fair, they're surging in the polls. It's important that people know know this. When Zack Polanski is making seductive claims to you, it's important that you understand, before he came into politics, he literally made money by charging women on the promise that he could literally enlarge the size of their breasts by hypnotising them. That is a true statement. And by the way, if you think that's insane, his policies are even more insane. He wants a world without borders. He wants open borders. He wants us to stand down and destroy our nuclear deterrent as Vladimir Putin belligerently marauds into Ukraine. He wants a communist economic system. He wants to legalise all drugs. And in Zack Polanski's version of Britain, his version of Britain, it is illegal to sell fentanyl, crack cocaine and heroin, but illegal to rent your flat out. This is the most unserious person to enter British politics in my lifetime.
OK, listen, so I'm going to let you respond. There's a whole heap of things there. Do you want to start off with the hypnotherapy? Well, because not everyone may be aware of it, but as I understand it, you spoke to a journalist in The Sun who came to you and said, can you make my breast bigger through hypnotherapy? And you said, yes, and gave it a go.
I said no. And they said, would you be willing to do it as an experiment? I said, as long as you make it clear, it's not something I do, it's not something I charge for, it's absolutely
Zack, that's not true. I'm sorry, Zack, I'm sorry, I've got a correct record on that. That is not true.
And then actually, amazingly,
hang on a minute. When you talk over each other, no one at home can hear. As I remember, you were quoted as saying, actually, loads of people might go for this because it's safer and cheaper than a boob job.
Right, so this was 12 years ago, before I was a politician.
Just giving you the chance to respond.
I think it's important to own when you've made a mistake, and I've owned that. It's 12 years on now. I think Tony Benn, one of my favourite politicians, said, I don't care where you've come from, I care where you're going. And what I want to ask Zia, if we're talking about people's past records, Nathan Gill, this is a man who was found guilty on bribery with the Russian state. Now, Zia said that Nigel Farage and Reform did not know who this man was. But Nigel Farage, including the day after Brexit happened, was pictured with 4 men behind him, one of them being former MEP for Reform, Nathan Gill, the man that Zia says no one knows who he was. So were you lying, or was Nigel Farage lying?
Zack, I'm afraid, if you want to use the word lie, let's be clear about something. You are lying. What I said is I have never met. I took over as chairman in the summer of last year. I will tell you, I have never met Nathan Gill in my life. I have never met...
has met thousands of people. He doesn't know who this man is.
Was that a lie? I said he meets tens of thousands across the course of a year. Over the course of a year.
And Zack, is this believable? This sounds like
at the time that this guy was the Welsh leader, Reform was polling at like 1% in Wales. Listen, here are the facts of the matter. Reform.
Hang on.
I have never met him before. He is not an important figure inside Reform.
Because you're filibustering.
Nigel was not leader when he had a position inside Reform.
So was he stood behind Nigel Farage in the picture, or was he not?
I tell you what, hang on a minute.
Everybody
there in the audience, can I just say, people in the audience, hang on, Azia. I appreciate you both feel really strongly about Nathan Gill. But I can see that people in the audience are going, you know, I'm not sure this is going to make an enormous...
bribery from Russia.
Right, OK.
So Zack is definitely on the attack, and this has been great to see. It's been a very good move in terms of political timing as well. When your party got off to a bit of a shaky start, there was something of a void on the left that needed filling, and the Greens have certainly seized the day where that's concerned. However, the new Socialist Party co-formed by Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana now seem to have finally got the ball rolling with a series of talks across the country, including here in the north, where they're also set to have their first conference at the end of November in Liverpool. After their staggered start, they, like the Greens, are picking up tens of thousands of members.
Zara and myself have done an awful lot of these rallies around the country. And I ask myself, what brings people together? It's a disgust that in the 5th richest country in the world, there is so much poverty, so many children living in poverty, 1 million people using food banks regularly in order to try and survive. That should simply not be happening. Can't we quite simply say, homelessness will end? Will end.
We have a duty to fight back. If we don't fight back, the far right will keep filling that vacuum that has been created by Labour's capitulation and a broken political system. And we must be clear, you don't stop fascism by ignoring it or copying it. You stop it by fighting it at the ballot box, and where necessary, you fight the fascists in the streets.
Brilliant stuff as well from your party there. Other organisations like Humanity Project are also getting citizens' assemblies together all over the UK right now, and there's definitely a whiff of political revolution in the air and a hunger for real change brought about by socialist policies and a more representative democracy. Out of the legacy parties, there only seems to be the Lib Dems who aren't on a continuing downward spiral, and the Independents as well as the Workers' Party Britain seem to be slowly on the rise as well. The overriding message from all the players who are now on the up is to tax the rich, act on the climate crisis, and construct a fairer society for all. Whoever socialist voters might be thinking about backing at the next general election, it's safe to say that this is the way that we need to be going.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
What do you think about this new upsurge on the left, and will you be backing any of the parties that came up in the video? Please let us know in the comments below. As always, your feedback is very welcome. Thanks a lot for watching to the end of the video. If you'd like to help the channel out a bit more, then please check out some of our other content and hit various supportive buttons such as like and subscribe. Super thanks are also open, and there's a link to our Buy Me a Coffee page in the description of this video. If you want to go a step further, then hit the join button, and for only 99p you can enjoy exclusive perks like members only videos and early viewings, plus lots more, and you get to join the list of awesome people that you can see on your screen right now. As always, your contributions are much appreciated. Thanks again, people. My left eye will be seeing you soon.